And the most farming people, what they call it book learning. You didn't need no book learning. Every reason in the book makes it important for me to learn how to read. If I could get a bill and make the check out myself, I'd just be happy. It's a wonderful feeling to think you're learning to do something you never done in your whole life.
If you need help or can help someone else, call this number.
Thursday.
She has an unbelievable body.
The dazzling cover girls.
South of France, Saturday and Sunday.
Cheryl Teagues hosts The Making of a Model. Then George Hamilton hosts a world model search with Kim Alexis and Carol Alt.
The winner is
Look of the Year, Thursday.
Next up on Eyewitness News, help from Minnesota has arrived to save whales trapped by ice off the shores of Alaska. And we'll be talking live via telephone for the latest on the rescue efforts there. We'll bring you the conclusion to our three-part series on the controversial diagnostic and treatment methods of a local chiropractor. And you'll hear the story of this pup, the victim of a vicious attack. We'll have those stories, hints of what comes with colder weather in Minnesota, like it or not, and the day in sports. Next on Eyewitness News at 6.
Skip Humphrey, Minnesota's Attorney General, says he's tough on crime. But look at the facts. As a state senator, Humphrey actually voted to reduce penalties for drug offenders. He actually voted against increasing jail terms for violent crime, including rape. Humphrey actually voted to reduce jail terms from 25 to 15 years for murder. No wonder violent crime and drug abuse have mushroomed in Minnesota under Skip Humphrey. Is this the kind of leadership we want in a U.S. senator?
These winning moments are brought to you by your neighborhood Dodge dealer. See your Dodge dealer where the new spirit shows.
Super Bowl IX, 1975. Pittsburgh's first appearance is a memorable afternoon for Franco Harris. He rolls up 158 yards, a Super Bowl record. Minnesota runners collect 21 yards. It's Pittsburgh 16, Minnesota 6. For Franco Harris, a winning moment.
It's been voted one of the 10 best cars in the world by Car and Driver. Called the original, and still the best by Motor Trend. And hailed as a breakthrough by the automotive press the world over. It is the front-wheel drive Dodge Caravan. Still unequaled, and the #1 selling minivan in the world. The 1989 Caravan, the new spirit of original thinking, only from Dodge.
The story of Priscilla, Elvis, and Michael Edwards, Monday at 10.
Thanks to a big Minnesota effort, more help has now arrived to save the whales trapped by ice near Alaska. Can this Minnesota mission succeed? Well, that story tops Eyewitness News at 6.
Live from Minnesota's news channel, KSTP Channel 5. This is Eyewitness News.
And good evening, everybody. I'm Stan Turner, and thank you very much for joining us this Saturday evening. Well, just a few hours ago, our KSTP Eyewitness News plane landed in Point Barrow, Alaska. Its cargo, 13 Minnesota machines that could mean the difference between life and death for whales trapped by ice along the Alaskan shoreline. Also on board, an Eyewitness News crew ready to bring you the latest on those rescue efforts. We'll have more on that in just a moment, but first off tonight, the latest on the situation out on the ice. Biologists report that one of the 3 whales is missing, and they believe that whale has died. You may remember the whale the scientists nicknamed Bone. It got its name because the skin on its snout had been scraped to the bone by rough ice around this hole. Biologists think that Bone may have died from a bone infection. The whale has not been seen since late yesterday. As for the other 2 California grays, they are inching their way toward open water now, following a trail of breathing holes that Eskimos are cutting in the ice. The whales are about 4 miles from freedom at last report. A second helicopter like this one is on its way to try to help clear that path. It will be using a 5-ton concrete weight to smash holes in the ice. Now for Minnesota's rescue story. One thing scientists have discovered as they try to coax those whales to swim from one hole to the next is that the whales love the bubbles put out by two Minnesota-made de-icing machines. Those machines, made by Casco Industries of Lakeland, have helped so much KSTP and Casco combined forces to get 13 more of them to Point Barrow. Now, yesterday afternoon, the de-icers were loaded on board our KSTP Eyewitness News aircraft, along with our Jason Davis and an Eyewitness News crew. They covered 2,900 miles to reach Point Barrow this afternoon. Now, Jason and photographer John Elliott are out on the ice right now preparing a report that we will bring you tonight on the 10 o'clock edition of Eyewitness News. In the meantime, our producer Gene Bumgardner joins us live on the telephone in Point Barrow. And Gene, what is the latest? Have those de-icing machines actually made it out onto the ice yet?
Well, as you just mentioned, they are out on the ice right now. Greg Farian is out along with Jason Davis and John Elliott, and they are putting the de-icers into the holes that are currently being cut by Eskimos and volunteers. There are currently 34 holes in the ice leading out to the open water, but there's still 3 miles yet to drill. Eskimos are drilling one every 100 feet or so, and the de-icers are then being put into the hole to attract the whales as they go along. So it seems to be working out pretty well.
Well, it does, Gene. There's been so much attention paid to this nationwide virtually. I'm curious, what's the reaction right there in Point Barrow, Alaska to this rescue effort?
Well, the people in Point Barrow are quite simply wonderful. They've opened their homes to so many people that have come in from around the world to help out. And there are so many companies from the world also that are donating equipment. There's a new auger that Arco Oil Company is bringing in here. It's actually expected to arrive here in about an hour, which will also be used to drill ice chunks or blocks of ice out of the Arctic Sea.
All right, Gene.
But the people of Barrow have just opened their arms to us. They're very wonderful. They're friendly and more than hospitable.
All right, certainly good news there. Gene Bumgarner, thank you very much for that live telephonic report for us, giving us an update on the rescue effort there off Point Barrow, Alaska. Now, again, Jason Davis will have the latest on the rescue effort tonight in Eyewitness News at 10 o'clock, so please do join us for that report. We've been telling you about the problem that stray dogs in rural Minnesota this week. Many have attacked human beings. Well, today we learned of one attack on a dog. This Richfield hunter went looking for grouse in Rush City, Minnesota, but instead they found Lucky, so named because the bullet through her neck did not kill her. And this hunter took her to his home in Richfield.
Well, we were walking around this junk pile, and it was laying there between two pieces of metal. And a guy's brother seen him first, and he yelled over dog, and we all walked around the metal and seen the dog laying there, and we picked the metal off it and picked her up and brought her out of the junk pile and made her walk around a little bit and started coming to, and we got her some water and just brought her home, and then the next day we brought her to the vet.
But Trent does not know who shot Lucky or to whom she belongs. And west of the Twin Cities, rescue crews recovered the body of one of two men believed to have drowned yesterday when their canoe capsized. After authorities extensively searched Lake Marion near Hutchinson, they found the body of 27-year-old Thomas Pendergast of Hutchinson. There's been no other sign of the missing man. Officially, the search for missing Marine Jason Rother ended weeks ago, but today about 30 of Jason's family and friends rallied at the Federal Building in downtown Minneapolis. The group, including Jason's mother and stepfather, chanted Jason's slogans and gathered signatures demanding the military revive search efforts for Jason. Jason Rother was lost about the end of August during Marine maneuvers in the Mojave Desert. Tonight, we have a much better idea of what caused a Williams pipeline to rupture in Shoreview this week. Now, this morning, crews dug down to where the pipe began leaking during high-pressure water tests. After removing the pipe from the ground, federal inspectors and Williams Company officials scanned the rupture, and they agreed that some third party appears to be responsible for the break.
When we uncovered the pipe this morning, it was real obvious that something had hit the pipe. The coating had been damaged.
Now, that's a far different situation from when a Williams pipe simply split open right down the middle in Mounds View 2 years ago. In the gas leak and fire that followed, 2 people were killed. Well, today, Mounds View officials maintain that while the cause of the rupture in Shoreview may be different, it still shows how risky pipelines in residential areas can be.
Operating these types of pipelines in an urban area is dangerous, irrespective of how safe the pipe itself is.
But Williams disagrees with that. It says the extensive tests it's done on the line and the low operating pressure make it a very safe operation. Just ahead here on Eyewitness News this Saturday, you'll hear more about a computer that's being used on patients in the Twin Cities that you should know about. And you'll see what a new bridge can do for a southern Minnesota town and its Wisconsin neighbor. Those stories when we come back.
Strike up! Huge savings at Famous Footwear's grand opening sale. Save 25 to 50% on athletics, including Reebok and Nike. Famous Footwear.
When the stars come out to play, baby, a twinkling show, ooh, dinner out of sight at McDonald's. Showtime, it's Mac tonight.
Catch the Starlight Combo for just $1.99, featuring our new larger large fries with a McDLT, a Big Mac, or a Quarter Pounder with cheese, now at McDonald's.
I've seen many great athletes perform over the years, but only the very best made the Hall of Fame. And only the very best become Hall of Fame auto dealers.
More than 3,000 satisfied customers bought cars and trucks from Art Goebel Ford last year. 34 years as a family-owned dealership, winner of the '87 Ford Distinguished Dealer Award, Art Goebel Ford is where the savings are.
Your Hall of Fame dealer.
Buy your new car from the dealer who knows how to help you, Art Goebel Ford, Coon Rapids.
We're at Super America, where more and more people keep winning more and more prizes from KS95.
Pull into NESA, get a Sunny Money card, rub off the top corner, and see what you win. 10,000 instant winners.
The bottom square is your chance to win cars, $10,000 in cash, and Caribbean cruises. Weekday mornings at 7:20, we'll announce winning numbers and tell you other times you can listen, call in, and win.
The most winners in Twin Cities radio history.
Only on the Twin Cities' best stereo music station.
FM 94.5, KS95.
Help me, please, someone do something. Please, if he gets through that door, don't you understand? If he gets...
What's out there?
Twilight Zone. What would you say if somebody told you there was a computer capable of taking the guesswork out of what your body needs? Well, the computer is just one of the controversial diagnostic and treatment methods Eyewitness News has been telling you about this week in use by a Twin Cities chiropractor. And here to wrap up that special series of reports is investigative reporter Tom Garrison. Tom?
Stan, tonight we're going to take viewers undercover to test how the Intero computer is being used on Minnesotans. And we'll talk to Minnetonka chiropractor who says he's the only one in the state to have the Intero. But bear in mind, this computer is in use nationwide, not just by chiropractors, but by some medical doctors, even some health food stores. It's a computer you should know about. Its makers say this computer is like a sophisticated lie detector, questioning your body about its health. The computer is called the Intero, and the Utah company which makes it believes the Intero can electronically determine your body's reactions to over 2,000 foods and chemicals, quickly, painlessly. If it sounds too good to be true, the state of Colorado would probably agree. The state's test found the computer to be inaccurate, unable to duplicate results, and Colorado is acting to strip a physician of his license for using the Intero. The Intero computer has also prompted patient complaints in Illinois, California, and Canada. Here in Minnesota, chiropractor Dr. C. Robert Nelson of Minnetonka says he's the only caregiver in the state using the Intero. Given all the controversy, we wanted to find out for ourselves how the computer is being used on Minnesotans. So 5 on Your Side sent a nurse practitioner with 15 years' experience to Dr. Nelson at the Sunrise Sports and Family Clinic in Minnetonka. Renee posed as a housewife. We asked her to complain of constantly feeling tired. Now, the ads for Nelson's clinic claim one of its specialties is detecting and correcting allergies. Sure enough, on Renee's first visit to Dr. Nelson, the computer printout said she had a problem with whole wheat, milk, and yeast. To get a second opinion, we later took Renee to see a board-certified allergist, Dr. Richard Morris. The patient was tested for allergic reactions to the whole wheat, milk, and yeast, plus some 70 other known allergens. The conclusion?
We find no evidence of any food allergies in you at all.
When we confronted Dr. Nelson with our findings, he said it's not surprising an allergist couldn't find allergies in this case because the computer wasn't testing Renee for that.
It's important to explain to the patient that they are not being tested for allergy.
they're being tested for hypersensitivity.
Why then, we asked, does Dr. Nelson advertise he can detect allergies?
If I talk about hypersensitivity to the general population, they have no idea what that means. The populace is not programmed to differentiate, and I might as well say, you know, hob schnob gadab.
Dr. Nelson now knows the Intero computer found problems in a woman who is actually in good health, and he concedes the device is still unproven.
I find it accurate, but not without error. Maybe it's hitting 70–80%.
Still, Nelson defends the Intero's use on patients.
I think it's fair if you can, within a shadow of a doubt, prove that you're not, and even, let's say that you're not going to hurt the patient. That's the primary purpose of the physician, is to do no harm.
Now, a lot of other people would say the goal of the physician is to help make you well, and that's the question. Can the Intero computer help doctors do that? Because of the findings turned up by 5 on Your Side and the state of Colorado and others, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration now says it's taking a harder look at the Intero. But as patients, we can all do one very important thing. Before any new device is used on you, ask for the proof that it has been registered with the FDA and that it has been proven to be safe and effective.
All right. Thank you very much, Tom.
Okay.
On to other matters here. The river towns of Wabasha, Minnesota and Nelson, Wisconsin are closer than ever today. That's because a new interstate bridge connecting the two communities was officially opened today. And that's only part of the good news. The other is this. The new span is ready more than a year ahead of schedule and at a cost well below original estimates. As traffic flows once again between Wabasha and Nelson, there are plans to landscape the base of the new bridge and knock down the old bridge that spanned the Mississippi River for more than 50 years. Up next here, a look at the weekend weather forecast with Karen Falloon. Our luck for warm weather seems to be kind of running out. And later, a Minnesota man sets out to meet the descendants of the survivors of the HMS Bounty. It's a seaworthy tale you'll want to hear.
I'm going back to my favorite Bridgmans, 1968.
Hey, reject!
Hey, dirt ball!
My old girlfriend.
Feisty.
Just like I remember.
And now, the Lollapalooza.
Mom? Bridgmans. Stir up some memories.
We're at Super America, where more and more people keep winning more and more prizes from KS95.
Win the biggest giveaway in Twin Cities radio history.
The bottom square is your chance to win cars, $10,000 in cash, and Caribbean cruises. Weekday mornings at 7:20, we'll announce winning numbers and tell you other times you can listen, call in, and win.
Pull into any SA, get a Sunny Money card, rub off the corner, see what you win. 10,000 instant winners.
Only on the Twin Cities' best stereo music station.
Right now, your Nissan dealer has a select number of hot new 89 240 SXs. He's also got plenty of 88s. Sentras, Stanzas, and Maximas, Pulsar NXs and Z cars, even Pathfinders and hard-body trucks. Not to mention a first-time buyer's plan and factory-to-dealer cash incentives. So see your nearest Nissan dealer now for a great deal. Maybe even a look at the new 240 SX.
So, you're having car trouble, and trouble deciding where to take it. Who can help with your hesitation problem? Who can get rid of knocks and pings? Who knows how to put a stop to hard starting? And guarantees their work for 12 months or 12,000 miles? Only the engine performance experts at Precision Tube. We do more than fix your car. We guarantee it.
Time now to check in the weather room with Karen Falloon. Karen, we've been on kind of a warm weekend weather roll here for the past few weeks. Methinks it may be coming to a bit of an end.
Oh, an abrupt end. It would be a better way to put it. We have one of the strongest storms I've seen so far this season. Satellite pictures showing a storm system that's just sort of sweeping across the north central states, covering the Dakotas with clouds this afternoon. Those clouds pushing into western Minnesota. You've seen them increasing, getting thicker over the metro area all day long. That storm system now stretches from central Canada, a low pressure system that is dragging a cold front across the Dakotas at the moment. Very warm and much moister air than we figured on out ahead of that system. That moisture coming up through the Central Plains into the upper Midwest. Not as much as we could hope for, but there is an increase in the moisture. And just behind it, some much colder air that's beginning to make its way through western Canada into the northern Rockies. Across the front here, there's about a 15 to 20 degree difference, say from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, back toward northeastern Montana. So the cold air and the warm air beginning to come together on either side of this front. The winds are also the story. The winds have been increasing over Minnesota. Right now, they're 15 to 20 to 25 miles an hour out ahead of this system, and they're out of the south. On the backside, you can see the winds are much stronger. The cold air rushing in behind that front, and wind gusts are up to 49 miles an hour there at Pierce, South Dakota, 47 miles an hour at Rapid City. And those cold northwesterly winds are on their way to us later tonight, early tomorrow morning. On the radar from Alexandria, you can see there is some precipitation beginning to develop, and actually checking a little bit farther over northwestern Minnesota, moderate rain up around Thief River Falls, and that's now beginning to extend to west of Alexandria, moving to the east. And on our radar, a little closer to home, we're not picking up too much. There may be a few showers developing between the metro area and St. Cloud. The showers will be increasing, developing during the nighttime hours as that front now in the Dakotas begins to push into western Minnesota. Right now here in the Twin Cities, the clouds have gotten much thicker, and we don't have nearly as much sunshine or light out there as we did earlier in the day. 51 degrees, the dew point 29, the relative humidity 42%. Winds are southeast at 18 miles an hour, and the pressure is falling and dropping like a rock, too, I might add. Our high today was 53 degrees, the low 27, and no precipitation as yet. For tomorrow, keep your eyes open. We may be talking about some snow showers. And here in the Twin Cities, there are a number of variables you have to consider. The ground is very warm, so we're not really looking for an accumulation unless it falls very fast. And the cold air has to arrive at the same time as the moisture. So our high tomorrow around 43 with some possibility of some snow showers. For tonight then, rain showers developing, temperatures in the lower 40s, waking up, rain and snow showers mixed. That's a possibility, 42 degrees. The rest of the day, a good chance of snow shower activity over the metro area. Best chance of accumulation, by the way, in northeastern Minnesota. Our highs only in the lower 40s. For Sunday night into Monday, variable cloudiness, a few flurries possible, and the temperatures will drop to around 30 degrees Sunday night. High on Monday, only around 40. Looking ahead, Tuesday and Wednesday, not too bad, but look there on Thursday. With the rather chilly temperatures, we may have another chance of rain and or snow showers in the forecast. Stan?
Somehow snow showers. That gets my attention, huh?
I know. Everybody's attention.
Here we go. Thank you, Karen. The Gopher football team takes on Ohio State tonight, looking for its first conference win of the season. The Gophers. The Hockey Gophers are flying high, unbeaten after their first 4 games of the '88 season. Ed Cairo has the sports right after this.
Skip Humphrey, Minnesota's Attorney General, says he's tough on crime. But look at the facts. As a state senator, Humphrey actually voted to reduce penalties for drug offenders. He actually voted against increasing jail terms for violent crime, including rape. Humphrey actually voted to reduce jail terms from 25 to 15 years for murder. No wonder violent crime and drug abuse have mushroomed in Minnesota under Skip Humphrey. Is this the kind of leadership we want in a U.S. senator?
Just a little peace of mind.
Sometimes peace of mind just means a little extra coverage on a rainy day. Other times it takes more, like knowing you've got the kind of dependable, flexible health protection to cover any of life's surprises. And that gives you something extra to take home. Preferred Gold from Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Ember's $1.99 jumbo breakfast. 2 farm-fresh eggs, 2 buttermilk pancakes, 2 country sausage links, and 2 strips of hardwood cured bacon, only $1.99. Ember's, big taste, small check.
Get ready for Mazda's '89 lineup. Your Mazda dealer has something for everyone, like the red-hot MX-6, luxurious 929, practical 626, and fun to drive 323. Get set with Mazda trucks, rated #1 in customer satisfaction for 3 years running. Go get the feel of an '89 Mazda now.
Come drive a Mazda.
your Mazda dealer in Richfield, Brooklyn Center, White Bear, St. Paul, and Minnetonka.
Whenever it seems the other pro and amateur teams in our towns are flagging, having a little trouble, we can always rely on these guys to pick things up and make us feel good.
Dougie's dudes are
Dougie's
doing
dudes.
it again.
Aren't they, though?
And interestingly, 4-3 decisions both nights.
Yeah.
They have a tendency, because they're so good, to just relax a little bit at mid-game. That happened again today. Happened last night, but they won them both. And we're
Hockey
talking
Gophers.
Hockey
Yes,
Gophers.
we are.
We
Yeah,
sure are. Last night, the Gophers had to hold Denver off to win their WCHA home opener at Mariucci Arena. This afternoon, they had to come from behind and to the Pioneers, and they beat them in overtime. The Gophers trailed 3-1 going into the third period, but by the time 7 minutes were gone, this happened. Tom Peterson's shot from the point clicked off Pete Hankinson's skate in the Denver goal crease. The game was tied at 3. Then, in overtime, the Gophers worked about 5 minutes. Ken Jernander got the puck to Lance Pitlick along the right side. He tossed it across to Corey Leyland at the left of the Denver goal, and Minnesota had its second straight 4-3 defeat of the Pioneers, but that one, of course, was in overtime. Well, another Gopher team, the Gophers and Ohio State, looking for a first Big Ten football victory at the Metrodome tonight. The Gophers are 2-3-1 overall, and 0-2-1 in the Big Ten. The last time Minnesota beat Ohio State was in 1981 at Memorial Stadium, and the Buckeyes have won the intervening 6. In finished Big Ten action today, Iowa capped a 31-7 win with this spectacular catch. Devin Herbert on the receiving end of this one. Nice grab, and it wasn't simple, but Herbert got it done, and so did the Hawkeyes. 31-7 over the Boilermakers this afternoon. Elsewhere, Michigan a winner over Indiana, beating them 31-6. 28-21 the verdict over Illinois. That was Michigan State. Wisconsin 14-3 over Northwestern, and of course, Ohio State plays Minnesota at 7 o'clock tonight. The second-ranked team in the country, Notre Dame, had no problem with Air Force this afternoon. The Fighting Irish flying higher than anybody could manage after last week's defeat of Miami, and they handed it to the Falcons 41-13 at South Bend. Rick Waters did a lot of catching for the Irish. Tony Rice rushed for 1 TD, passed for a couple more in that Notre Dame win today. The number 1 ranked team in the country, UCLA, had little trouble with Arizona, 24-3 this afternoon. There's the Notre Dame score. Miami, a big winner over Cincinnati. It was Nebraska, another big winner over Kansas State. Look at these numbers. West Virginia, 54-19 over Boston College. Florida State, 66-3 over Louisiana Tech. Oklahoma plays at Colorado tonight. North Carolina State was the only upsetter of the afternoon, beating 9th-ranked Clemson, and Auburn rolled easily over Mississippi State. In the area, UMD was a big winner. Bethel got by St. Thomas in an upset. Hamlin downed Gustavus. It was St. John's over McAllister. And Carleton put their minds to it and beat Augsburg 53-23. The Vikings are in Tampa Bay. They'll, there you are, take on the Buccaneers tomorrow noon at Tampa Stadium. Now you're there. The Vikings beat the Bucs by a point, 14-13 3 weeks ago, and are 4-3 so far. The Bucs are 2-5. Wade Wilson starts at quarterback for the Vikes tomorrow. DJ Dozier returns to the backfield. Couple of pro football player notes. Mark Gastineau of the Jets has been placed on a reserved retired list, unlikely to return to football this season. To replace Gastineau, the Jets signed former Viking Barry Bennett. And the Denver Broncos put quarterback John Elway on the inactive list because of a sore ankle. Gary Kubiak will start against Pittsburgh tomorrow. North Stars are out west tonight. They'll get a look at Wayne Gretzky and the Los Angeles Kings. Stars are wrapping up a 3-game road trip and desperate, having won only 1 of their first 7 games this year. As you put it, the Golden Gophers are doing well on the ice, but the North Stars are struggling.
They are. Gastineau, he's doing it all for his lady. Is that the idea?
Yes, he is, and I understand that she has cancer, and he's so concerned about that, feels he can't play football, so he's bowing out.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. We will have some concluding notes for you in just a moment. Stay with us.
It's Famous Footwear's grand opening, and we're brewing up a storm of store-wide savings. Men, weather the hard courts in these Reebok 4600s, just $39.99. Women, light up the night with Nike Club courts, not $42, just $26.99. Kids, save 50% on Reebok Pop Tops, just $19.99. Hurry to Famous Footwear for savings on Nike, Reebok, Brooks, Kangaroos, and more. This week only. Because lightning never strikes in the same place twice.
This November, we'll have the chance to save some of Minnesota's most scenic land, to protect our wildlife habitat, our endangered species, to preserve our Minnesotan way of life without spending one tax dollar. Of course, if you don't vote yes on question 1, to preserve these precious lands, someone else will find a use for them. Invest your vote for Minnesota. Vote yes on question 1.
Now you can feel shower fresh, like you just stepped out of the shower, all day long with new improved Band Solid.
I didn't know Band made a solid like this. It's a whole new kind of Band, and it's really different. Different when I touch its curve for comfort shape. Different when I glide it on creamy smooth.
Band Solid does more than help keep you dry and odor-free. Band Solid gives you a shower fresh feeling, morning, noon, and night. New Band Solid. Keep that shower fresh feeling all day.
Another day begins.
Best day. Implication. Mr. Reeves, you're late.
There's a lot to be learned. A Milky Way and a friend. Good things that never end.
Failing my class. No grades, no football. You can't do this to yourself. You have to try a little harder.
Milky Way, helping you.
I think I'm gonna give it my best shot.
Aye, matey. It's the 200th anniversary of the mutiny aboard the HMS Bounty, and one Minnesota mate doesn't plan to let it go unnoticed. How'd I do, Ed? Okay. Today, Brian Moon left Twin Cities International Airport for Pitcairn. As you can see on this globe, it's a tiny island in the South Pacific where the Bounty mutineers landed 2 centuries ago and where some of their descendants still live. Moon has painted commemorative pictures of the Bounty and plans to have those descendants sign them. It should be quite a journey, too. After his plane lands in Tahiti, Moon must charter a sailboat for the remaining 1,300-mile trek, a distance he's more than happy to travel.
It's historic. You know, there's only one 200th anniversary. I'm obviously ex-British, and it's an offbeat place to go. It's an interesting thing to do, and I thought that's something someone has to have a go at.
Have a go, Moon, have a go. Moon plans to put the sign prints up for sale. We'll see you at 10 o'clock tonight. Please join us. Jason will have that report from Alaska on the rescue effort on the whale, so please join us. See you at 10. Bye-bye.